ready to take your business to a whole new level.
I think so.
We're ditching those vague self-help tips and diving deep into NLP.
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah, it can totally transform how you communicate and think.
And even help you replicate those top performer strategies.
Right. For this deep dive, we're hanging out with Jeremy Lazarus.
Oh, great choice.
And his audiobook, NLP, The Essential Handbook for Business.
One of my favorites.
I'm loving it so far.
What really stands out about Lazarus is he doesn't just tell you what NLP is.
Yeah.
He explains the why, too.
That makes sense.
It's all about these core principles.
Right.
That's what makes it so effective.
I see. So we're not just getting a bunch of techniques, we're getting like a whole new mindset for success.
Absolutely.
And speaking of success,
Oh, yeah?
Lazarus claims that senior managers who used NLP,
Across their organizations.
yeah, they saw potential profit increases of up to 50%.
Wow, that's incredible.
A total game changer.
Definitely.
So how do we actually get these results?
Well, one of the foundations is these things called presuppositions.
Presuppositions.
Think of them like a mental operating system.
Oh, okay. Like a set of beliefs for success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you adopt these beliefs,
Huh.
new possibilities open up.
So instead of learning a bunch of techniques,
Yeah.
it's more about fundamentally changing how we see the world.
Exactly. And these presuppositions are powerful,
Yeah.
especially in business.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, the first one is respect for others' viewpoints.
Okay.
It might sound simple,
Sure.
but think about how it can transform your negotiation skills.
Oh, okay.
If you really understand and value the other party's perspective,
Right.
even if you disagree,
Yeah.
you're in a much stronger position
I see.
to find an outcome that benefits everyone.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
It's not about manipulation.
No.
It's about finding common ground,
Huh?
which is essential for any business deal.
Absolutely. What other presuppositions are there?
Well, another game changer is the meaning of communication is in the response you get.
Okay.
It reminds us
Yeah.
it's not what you say, but how it's received that matters.
So even if you have brilliant ideas,
Yeah.
if you can't communicate them,
Right.
they just fall flat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to be adaptable. Pay attention to feedback
Right.
and adjust your approach.
So it's like fine-tuning a radio signal
That's a great analogy.
until you get a clear reception.
Exactly.
What other presuppositions stand out to you?
Well, our interpretation of a situation
Yeah.
is not the situation itself,
Okay.
is incredibly powerful
Yeah,
for navigating those tricky situations
I see.
and resolving conflicts.
And how does that one work?
Well, it reminds us,
Yeah.
everyone filters reality
Mm.
based on their own experiences.
So two people can see the same event,
Exactly.
but interpret it totally differently.
Exactly. So it's important to be aware of our own filters
Right.
and try to understand other people's filters.
That's a really valuable insight,
Yeah.
especially when dealing with difficult clients or team dynamics.
For sure. It's a reminder that everyone has their own perspective,
Yeah.
and understanding those perspectives is key to building strong relationships.
It all comes back to relationships.
It really does. And that brings us to another important one.
Yeah.
People make the best choices they believe they have available.
Okay.
This one's all about fostering empathy and understanding.
So instead of judging someone for making what we perceive as a bad decision,
Yeah,
we should try to understand why they made that decision.
precisely. Everyone is doing the best they can
Right.
with the resources and awareness they have.
So it's about giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely. And that can be incredibly powerful
Yeah.
for building trust.
In any relationship.
Exactly. And in the workplace, it's especially important.
Okay, so we've talked about some externally focused presuppositions.
Yes.
What about the ones that help us look inward?
The internally focused ones.
Yeah.
These are all about empowerment and self-mastery.
Okay, love it.
One of the most powerful is there is no failure, only feedback.
Oh.
This is a core principle of NLP.
So instead of seeing setbacks as failures,
Yeah,
we should view them as opportunities to learn.
exactly. It's about adopting a growth mindset.
But embracing the idea that we're always evolving,
Exactly. And that ties in nicely with flexibility goes a long way.
which means,
Being adaptable,
yeah,
willing to change your approach when things aren't working.
it's about being agile
Yes.
and open to new ideas.
Exactly. And not being afraid to fail.
Because failure is just feedback.
Exactly. And the final internal one I want to highlight
Okay.
is we are in charge of our minds and results.
Oh, that's a powerful one.
It's about taking ownership
Yeah.
of our thoughts, feelings, and actions.
So we're not victims of circumstance.
No, you're the creator of your own destiny.
It's a powerful mindset shift.
It really is. These internal presuppositions,
Yeah.
when combined with the external ones,
Okay.
create a solid foundation for success.
Okay, so we've got these NLP presuppositions that transform our mindset,
Yes.
but how do we put them into action?
That's where being at cause comes in.
At cause.
It's about taking full responsibility
Okay.
for our actions and outcomes.
So not blaming external factors
Right.
or other people.
Exactly.
Okay, so how is at cause different from being at effect?
Okay, so imagine two people
Yeah.
facing the same challenge.
Okay.
The person at effect might say, it's not my fault, the market is down.
Right. Or my team isn't pulling their weight.
Exactly. They see themselves as a victim.
Powerless to change anything.
Exactly.
But the at cause person
Yes.
would say something like, okay, this is the situation. What can I do?
That's it. They take ownership,
Yeah.
focus on solutions,
Uh-huh.
and believe in their ability to change things.
So they're not denying reality.
No.
They're just focusing on what they can control.
Exactly.
That's so empowering.
It is.
I can see how valuable that would be in business.
For sure.
So being at cause is about responsibility, solutions, and believing in our power to create change.
That's it.
What are the specific steps to move toward our goals?
That's where Lazarus introduces his 6 NLP principles for success.
Okay.
A roadmap to put that at cause mindset into action.
Let's break them down.
Okay. The first one is know what you want.
Seems pretty straightforward.
It is, but you'd be surprised how many people don't define their goals.
They just have vague aspirations.
Yeah. They haven't turned them into specific targets.
It's like setting off on a journey without a destination.
Exactly. You need that clear vision
Right.
before you could take steps to achieve it.
What's principle number 2?
Take feedback.
Okay.
Be receptive to information
From others.
and from the results of your actions.
So are you on track? Are you getting the outcomes you want?
Exactly. And if not, be willing to adjust.
So it's about being open to learning from everything
From successes and mistakes.
and constantly seeking ways to improve.
That's it. And that leads us to number 3. Be flexible.
Which we've kind of already talked about.
We have. If something isn't working,
Yeah.
change your approach.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Exactly.
So be adaptable, resilient, and willing
Yeah.
to change course.
Precisely. Principle number 4 is all about relationships.
Okay, and how does NLP define that?
It's called rapport.
Rapport
It's about building those positive connections.
with colleagues, clients.
Everyone you interact with
So it's not just what you know, but who you know.
and how you connect with them.
Right. Building strong relationships is essential
It really is.
because people are more likely to support you if they trust you.
And feel connected to you.
Exactly. Okay, I'm ready for principle number 5.
Have a positive mental attitude.
Another big one
It is. It goes back to that presupposition.
about being in charge of our minds.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Focus on solutions, not problems.
It's about cultivating optimism. Yeah.
And resilience.
And believing in our ability to overcome challenges.
Exactly. And finally, we have take action.
Okay, that one sounds pretty self-explanatory.
It is, but it's probably the most important.
Because you can have all the right ideas,
Yeah.
but if you don't act on them,
Nothing happens.
you'll never achieve your goals.
Exactly. So those 6 principles,
Yeah.
combined with the 9 presuppositions,
Uh-huh.
create a powerful framework for success.
Okay, we've got the mindset, we've got the principles.
Yes.
Let's talk goal setting.
Okay.
How does NLP approach goal setting?
That's where the smarter model comes in.
Smart.
It takes the traditional SMART goals
Oh, yeah.
and makes them even more effective.
So it's like SMART goals on steroids.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm ready to get smarter.
Oh.
What makes this model so special?
Well, it starts with those familiar elements of SMART goals.
Specific, measurable, achievable, all of that.
All that. But then it adds a few key layers.
Okay, so we're building on those SMART goals.
Exactly.
What's one of the key additions?
The emphasis on meaningful and motivating.
So my goals should actually mean something to me.
They need to align with your values and passions.
Like they need to light a fire within me.
Exactly. If you're not passionate about them,
You won't be motivated to achieve them.
exactly. It's like climbing a mountain without wanting to reach the summit.
Right. So finding that sweet spot
Yeah,
where your goals are both challenging and inspiring.
that's it. And another key addition is maintainable by you, making sure your goals are within your control.
So they're actually achievable.
Yeah. Given your current situation and resources.
Right, not setting myself up for failure.
Exactly. It's not just about resources.
Uh-huh.
It's about control. You need to be the driver.
Okay, so meaningful, motivating, and maintainable.
Uh-huh.
What else is different in this smarter model?
More than one way to achieve it.
Oh, interesting. So brainstorming multiple options.
Exactly. And being open to adjusting your approach.
Like having a backup plan.
Or multiple backup plans.
So I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket.
Exactly. What else? Let's see.
Mm.
Oh, all areas of life.
Oh, okay.
This is about considering the impact of your goals on your overall well-being.
So not just focusing on work goals.
Nope. It's about your relationships, your health, your sense of purpose.
It's about creating a life you love.
Exactly. And that brings us to as if now.
As if now, what's that about?
This is where NLP gets really cool.
Oh, good.
You visualize and talk about your goal as if it's already happening.
Like I've already achieved it.
Yes. You step into that desired future.
So I'm not striving and hoping I'm already there.
Exactly. And this shift in perspective
Mm-hmm.
can really boost your belief in the goal.
It's like sending a message to my subconscious.
Exactly.
This is who I am. This is what I have.
Exactly. And that's a great place to pause for now.
Oh, man. My brain is already overflowing with ideas.
We've covered a lot.
So much good stuff. We'll pick up our deep dive into NLP in the next part.
Can't wait.
Okay, so before the break, we were getting smarter.
About our goals.
I'm still thinking about that as if now thing.
It's powerful stuff.
It's like mental time travel for success.
I like that.
So we left off with as if now.
Right.
That's next in this smarter model.
Well, next we have realistic.
Okay, so keeping our feet on the ground.
Exactly. Ambition is great,
Yeah.
but we need to be practical too.
Does that mean limiting ourselves?
Not at all. It's about honestly evaluating
Okay.
what's achievable.
So setting challenging but attainable goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. What about right and responsible?
Ah, yes. This one adds an ethical dimension.
It does sound like it.
It's about aligning our goals with our values
Okay.
and making sure they have a positive impact.
So not just on ourselves.
Right, on others as well.
I see.
And even the wider world.
It's like making sure our ladder of success
Oh, I like that.
is leaning against the right wall.
That's a good one. It's about asking ourselves tough questions.
Like, is this goal in line with my values?
Okay.
Will it make the world a better place?
Yeah.
What are the potential consequences?
Both good and bad.
Exactly.
It's about making sure our ambitions don't hurt others.
Or compromise our integrity.
Right, right. Okay, what's next? Timed and dated.
That one's pretty straightforward.
Deadlines are important.
A goal without a deadline is
Mm.
just a dream.
It's just like having a destination,
No.
but no departure date.
Exactly. You might never actually leave.
So true. Okay, timed and dated gives us that structure.
The sense of urgency.
It keeps us accountable.
Exactly. What's next on the list?
Towards is interesting.
Yeah, this one's about language.
Oh, okay.
We need to focus on what we want to achieve,
Yeah.
not what we want to avoid.
So framing our goals positively.
You got it.
Okay, so instead of saying,
Yeah.
I want to stop feeling overwhelmed at work,
Right.
I'd say, I want to create a more efficient workflow.
Exactly. That shift in language
Yeah.
can have a big impact.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to be unhealthy
Right.
versus I want to be strong and energetic.
Exactly. One is focused on limitations.
Yeah.
The other on possibilities.
I love that. Okay, what about ecology?
This one's about considering the bigger picture.
Like the environmental impact of our goals.
Not exactly. It's more about the ripple effects.
Oh, okay.
How will achieving this goal impact my relationships?
Okay, so ensuring our success doesn't hurt others.
Right.
And it's sustainable.
Exactly. It's like the butterfly effect.
Right. A small change can have huge consequences.
Exactly. So we need to be mindful of those consequences.
Makes sense. And finally, we have resources.
This one's about taking stock
Mm-hmm.
of what we need to make our goals happen.
Time, money, skills.
Love that. And support from others.
Okay, so it's about creating a plan
Gathering the tool.
and building a support system.
That's it. The smarter model is pretty awesome.
It is. I'm already feeling inspired
Yeah.
to make my goals even smarter. Before we move on, are there any other NLP techniques we can explore?
Absolutely. Lazarus talks about rapport building, sharpening communication,
Uh-huh.
and even influencing outcomes.
Okay, let's talk rapport building.
It's all about trust and connection.
Right.
NLP has some really cool techniques for that.
Like what?
One of them is called matching and mirroring.
Matching and mirroring sounds like mimicking.
Kind of. It's about subtly aligning yourself.
with the other person.
Exactly. Their body language, tone of voice,
You're kidding.
even the words they use.
So if someone's leaning forward, I should lean forward too.
Subtly. The key is to be natural and authentic.
That sounds tricky.
It takes practice. Start by paying attention to their behavior
Okay.
and reflect those cues back to them.
Like a dance.
Exactly. Finding a rhythm together.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So we build rapport,
Yes.
and then how do we influence outcomes?
That's where the leading comes in.
Okay.
Once you've got rapport,
Yeah.
you can start to subtly shift your behavior,
Uh-huh.
and the other person will unconsciously follow.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to guide the conversation,
Yeah.
shift your posture, change your tone of voice,
Okay.
introduce new ideas.
It's like steering a ship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Small adjustments
Right.
that change the direction.
This is fascinating. It's like a subtle dance.
It is.
Matching and mirroring is definitely something I want to try.
I think you'll like it.
What other rapport building techniques are there?
Another one is finding common ground.
So, identifying shared interests.
Experiences, values.
So, even with someone I've just met,
Uh-huh.
we can find something in common.
Shared hobby, similar background.
Like those little threads that connect us.
Exactly. Even small connections build trust.
So true. Okay, matching and mirroring, common ground.
Yep.
What else?
Active listening is huge.
So, actually paying attention?
Really paying attention.
Not just waiting for my turn to speak.
Right. You have to be fully present.
Okay.
Put your phone away. Make eye contact. Ask questions. Reflect back what you're hearing.
So the other person feels heard and understood.
Exactly.
And valued. That builds strong relationships.
For sure. Speaking of understanding,
Yeah.
another powerful NLP technique is sensory acuity.
Sensory acuity.
It's about developing a heightened awareness
Okay.
of nonverbal cues
So those subtle signals we send,
through body language, tone of voice.
facial expressions,
It's like becoming a human lie detector,
but not really about detecting lies.
right? More about understanding their emotions.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. How do we develop sensory acuity?
Start by paying closer attention. How people move their bodies.
Okay.
Facial expressions, eye contact,
Okay.
breathing patterns, tone of voice.
So becoming more observant of those subtle cues.
Exactly. But how do we know what they mean?
Right. Good question.
Look for patterns and consistency.
Okay.
Do their words match their body language?
Oh, interesting.
Are there inconsistencies?
That suggests they're feeling something different. So we're like detectives of human behavior.
That's a great way to put it. The more you practice,
Yeah.
the better you'll get at reading those signals.
I can see how valuable this would be
It is
in negotiations, conflict resolution.
building relationships.
It all comes back to relationships.
It does. And that brings us to another NLP concept.
Okay.
Communicating in everyone's language.
Communicating in everyone's language. So learning a bunch of languages.
Not quite. It's about understanding how people process information.
Okay.
Some are visual learners, others are auditory,
Right.
and
right.
some are kinesthetic.
So we tailor our communication style to match theirs.
Exactly. It's like speaking their language.
Even if we're using the same words.
Right. That way they'll really hear you.
How do we know what their language is?
You can ask, but often they don't even know.
Oh, okay.
So use your sensory acuity.
Okay.
Pay attention to the words they use.
Like what?
If they use, look, imagine, clear.
Yeah.
They're probably visual. They might use gestures that paint pictures.
So I should use visual aids with them.
Exactly. If they use hear, sound, listen,
Yeah.
they're probably auditory.
Okay.
Pay attention to your tone of voice.
Right.
Tell stories. Use evocative language.
Makes sense. And kinesthetic learners.
Yeah, like feel, touch, grasp.
Okay.
Their hands-on might fidget.
So get them involved, use props.
Exactly. Let them experience the information.
This is amazing. It's like a communication decoder ring.
I like that.
I'm already analyzing my own language.
It's a good exercise.
It is. This is so cool.
NLP is all about unlocking potential.
I'm feeling it.
It's about personal and professional growth.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
There's so much more.
This has been incredible.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I'm sure there's more to come.
In the next part, we'll dive into some even more advanced NLP techniques.
Ooh, I can't wait. All right, we're back. Ready for those advanced NLP techniques?
You bet.
My brain is already buzzing with all the stuff we've learned so far.
I know, right? It's a lot to take in.
From presuppositions to smarter goals.
Rapport building, sensory acuity.
Even matching our communication style to different learners.
It's a whole new world.
But you said there's more.
Oh yeah, Lazarus has a few more tricks up his sleeve.
I'm ready. What's first?
Let's talk about anchoring.
Anchoring.
It's like creating a mental shortcut
Okay.
to access those empowering feelings.
Wait, so I can just choose how I feel?
In a way, yes.
That sounds kind of like magic.
It might feel like that, but it's actually a pretty simple process.
Okay, how does it work? Give me an example.
Let's say you're about to give a big presentation
I hate public
and
speaking.
you're feeling nervous.
Definitely. Those presentation jitters are the worst.
Right. But those nerves can really mess with your performance.
They totally can. I just freeze up.
So with anchoring,
Yeah.
you could create an association,
With what?
a physical touch, like pressing your thumb and forefinger together,
Okay.
and a feeling of calm confidence.
So I press my fingers together and I instantly feel confident.
Well, you'd have to practice it first.
Okay.
Linking that touch to a time you felt really confident.
Like remembering a time when I nailed a presentation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the more you practice that association,
Mm-hmm.
the stronger that anchor becomes.
So when I'm about to go on stage,
Yeah.
I just press my fingers together.
And boom,
Oh.
you access those feelings of confidence.
Wow, that's amazing. And this works for anything.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
Any situation where you need to shift your emotional state.
Dealing with a difficult client,
Yep.
even just everyday stress.
Anchoring can help at that too.
Okay, anchoring is definitely going on my list of things to try.
It's a good one. What else? Oh, reframing.
Reframing.
It's about consciously changing your perspective
Oh,
to create a more empowering experience.
so like changing the frame around a picture.
Exactly. To see it in a new light.
I like that. But how does that work in business?
Imagine you've been working on a project
Yeah.
and it falls apart.
Ugh, that's the worst.
Instead of seeing it as a failure,
Yeah.
reframe it as a learning opportunity.
So not getting discouraged.
Right. You come back even stronger.
Turning setbacks into lessons.
Exactly. It's about finding the opportunity within the challenge.
Like every cloud has a silver lining.
That's a good one.
Reframing helps you find that silver lining.
Exactly. And it's a super valuable skill in business.
Okay, reframing is another one for the to-do list.
It's a game changer.
Any other advanced techniques?
Okay, one more. Submodalities.
Submodalities.
It's a bit more advanced.
Okay, I'm up for the challenge.
Think of submodalities as the fine-tuning knobs of your experience. They're the qualities of your thoughts, feelings, memories.
Like what?
If you're visualizing a goal,
Yeah.
it's the size, brightness, color of that image.
Okay.
And by
Wow.
changing those submodalities,
Uh-huh.
you can change the intensity of the experience.
So, like, if I have a limiting belief,
Yeah.
I can change how I experience it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine that limiting belief as a big, dark image.
Okay, I'm picturing it now.
Now shrink it down,
Mm-hmm.
make it dimmer, push it
Yeah.
away.
Right.
What happens?
It feels less powerful, less scary.
Exactly. And you could do the opposite with positive beliefs.
Make them bigger, brighter, closer.
Exactly. You're taking control of your internal world.
This is mind-blowing. I can actually change how I feel about things.
That's the power of NLP.
This is incredible.
It's about personal growth, empowerment.
Creating a life you love.
That's it.
This audiobook has been amazing.
Lazarus is a genius.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
Remember, NLP is a journey.
Yeah.
Experiment, find what works for you,
Yeah.
have fun with it.
Great advice. NLP is a powerful tool for anyone who wants to improve their communication, achieve their goals, and create a more fulfilling life. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into NLP for business success. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and are feeling inspired to put these techniques into action. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep learning.